Hi everyone, we had already learned in Chapter 9 about US manufacturing, some production processes, and operating management techniques. As you know, the US company depends largely on manufacturing sector. It generates relatively large numbers of products as well as machines which are critical to US citizens. In 2010, US was the world's second largest manufacturer with $1,696.7 US billion of industrial output. However, intense competition from foreign companies are challenging the US manufacturing sector. On the surface, we often hear about the media reporting about downturn of US manufacturing, including the decline of General Motors and other auto companies. Job are lost to foreign manufacturers from Mexico, China, India, which question the US company's ability to respond to challenges effectively as in the past. In order to survive in this turbulent economy, US companies have to maintain competitive edge by first, focusing on customers. Second, maintaining closer relationships with suppliers and other companies to satisfy consumers' needs. Third, practicing continuous improvement. Fourth, focusing on quality. 5. Saving on costs through site selection. 6. Utilizing the internet. 7. Adopting new production techniques. But do all companies really follow this structure? Today, I would like to discuss about this issue through a video case called Keeping Your Eye on the Ball. This video case will tell us more detail about how one example of successful US manufacturers faces the difficulty of modern manufacturing trends. Guess who? Yeah, that's Ball Corporation. Let me tell you briefly about the history of Ball. Ball Corporation is founded in 1880 by 5 brothers. This is an American company headquartered in Broomfield, Colorado. Ball is best known for its early production of glass jars, lids, and related products used for home canning. They started out making glass containers and made products used for home canning. They made a transition in more contemporary packaging in the 1950s and 1960s, aluminum packaging for beverages. After being a privately owned, family-owned for many years, Ball Company became a public company in 1972. Then it had expanded and diversified into other business ventures, including aerospace technology, and become the world's largest manufacturer of recyclable metal beverage and food containers. The point is, what makes Ball Company so successful? So let's take a look at the continuous can making process, which is a key factor building up reputation for Ball Company. Right after the approximate 10,000 pounds aluminum coil came in, the first step is called copper starts. It's a press starts that stamps out the can into the cup that almost looks like a tuna can. Then those tuna cans are conveyed to the body maker, also known as draw and iron. When going through the body maker, the punch rams it through and draws that metal out to the length we want it to be. After that, cans go to the trimmer where it trims cans down to a standard can height. Then, can conveys over to a 6-stage washer. 6-stage here means that this step includes a wash station, a pre-wash station, 2 rinse, and a washer. When cans come out of that, they continue through a 250-degree dryer and stay in there for a couple of minutes. Those cans will continuously transferred to a decorator. This oven's function is rolling ink on each can. Then can will run through an over varnish that is put onto that ink. After that, can go into the Ethernet coat. Each will be put a coat inside to keep beverage from eating through the aluminum. Those cans, they're put through another oven when they came out, we call them straight wall cans, which means not having the neck or the flange on the cans. Next, straight wall cans go through the necker and flanger area. This is where we reduce the diameter of the can so that the lids can sit on top of it. Then it's time for looking for many kinds of leaking the can. By using light tester, Ball Corporation can currently test 100 each, and every can with continuous rate like 100 and 1,500 cans per minute. The outer can is flooded with a light source, and any light that shows through the can will be rejected. After finished, cans will be conveyed to warehouse to the palletizer were 8,169 cans per 12-ounce pallet and 4,082 cans per 24-ounce pallet. Finally, we come to the last step, storing. Completed cans are taken to the warehouse and stored whether approximately 200,000 to 220,000 square feet warehouse. About 220 million cans are held in there. As you can see, Ball Corporation cans are manufactured on automated machinery. By using technology effectively, Ball Corporation can not only operate the process efficiently, but also can cut costs. Nevertheless, despite being the U.S. largest packaging company, Ball still face many challenges. They need to position themselves as a brand in the minds of consumers. That means they have to make the consumer think of that brand better than the others, which also manufacture the same packaging as Ball. So now is question time. The first question is, looking at the future of manufacturing in the United States, do you think U.S. companies like Ball are adapting to the challenges of foreign manufacturers? What is Ball doing to stay competitive? From my point of view, according to the Ball's effort to improving their products and techniques day by day, I believe that it's obvious that U.S. companies like Ball are adapting to the challenges of foreign manufacturers. Even though the domestic labor costs are higher, the U.S. manufacturing are effective. They are using high technology to make better and faster manufacturing. Also, since labor cost increased in foreign countries, manufacturing sections tend to ship back to the U.S. Therefore, U.S. companies can take full advantages of cost effectiveness in their country. In order to stay competitive in the ego of global market, Ball Corporation focused on 6 actions. One of the things they have to look at is downtime on the line. They feel that anytime they are down on the line, they are losing money. Thus, the way we keep their costs down by competitive is by volume of the product they can produce. Second, engineer folks change the specs of machines in some cases to make them more efficient, run faster and better. Third, looking for innovation, helping figure out how to make packaging world lighter and has less metal in them. Cooperating with a porous brand to produce some product that consumer might be familiar with. The second action is limiting outsourcing production. Ball located its facilities close to both its suppliers and customers. That makes distribution faster, easier, and cheaper. Next, using robotic and different things of that nature to transfer things. It means that when they lay out on the line, they are laying out so that their funnel, their warehouse, or forklift traffic through one main aisle and keep the rest of them open. The other thing is to hold the just-in-time inventory control. Depending on what the product is, what raw materials suppliers may warehouse it here close to the plant. Ball Corporation also set up a secondary supplier. If there is a hiccup in it, the Ball can go back up the suppliers. Obviously, they are focusing on quality. With customers requiring so many different things, they integrated a bit from all different quality out there. Lastly, lightweighting, which is use less materials in their containers, whether it's plastics or metal. Also work with local communities and municipalities to create recycling programs. Therefore, they can get their products back, save energy, raw materials, and makes the entire life cycle analysis system more efficient. This video mentions the loss of the U.S. manufacturing jobs to overseas location. What is it called? What is the opposite trend that has occurred in the U.S. with companies like Toyota and Honda? To answer the second question, this video mentions the loss of U.S. manufacturing jobs to overseas location. It is called outsourcing. This term means contracting with other companies, often in other countries, to do some or all of the functions of a firm, like its production or accounting tasks. Thus, outsourcing has serious consequences in some stages where jobs have been lost to overseas competitors. And the opposite trend is called insourcing. It means foreign companies come to do manufacturing activities in some domestic area and offer job to local employees. For example, Korea-based Hyundai operates design and engineering headquarters in Detroit, Michigan, and produces cars in Montgomery, Alabama. Japanese automaker Honda and Toyota have been producing cars in the United States for many years. In this way, insourcing creates many U.S. jobs, help offset those jobs being outsourced. And the last question, what is meant by Six Sigma? Six Sigma at many organizations simply means a measure of quality that strives for near perfection. Six Sigma is a disciplined, data-driven approach and technology for eliminating defects, driving toward 6 standard deviation between the mean and the nearest specification limit in any process, from manufacturing to transactional and from product to service. A process can be described by a sigma rating indicating its yield or percentage to defect-free products it creates. Its fundamental objective is to improve the quality of output of a process by identifying and removing the causes of the defects and minimizing variability in manufacturing and business processes. There are 2 very important methodologies for executing Six Sigma initiative: Six Sigma DMAIC and Six Sigma DMADV. Each step's name is derived from the major steps in this process, but it has its own use. DMAIC, which stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, Control, is used to correct a process that already exists. DMADV stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Design, Validate, is used to create a new process. As we can see, there are many changes in manufacturing, but US manufacturers try their best to follow and adapt to changes. That is the strong point that we must learn from them. Rupert Murdoch, founders of New Corporation, said, "World is changing very fast. Big will not beat small anymore. It will be the fast beat the slow. Learning how to handle changes will be a big step to success." That's all for now. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay.